Okay, I didn't know if what was going on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Raw Rebound, where on this show we talk about everything that happened on Raw and my general thoughts on it, and see if overall it was watchable or not. Basically, like a review show. That's all I need to put out there. All right, so this episode of Raw is the Go Home Show to Extreme Rules, which is live this Sunday on the WWE Network, which is free for new subscribers. Don't worry, I'm not going to repeat that 20 times a day like Michael Cole does, because it'd be pointless. You already know what it is by now. We open up Raw with Roman Reigns walking backstage, and he walks into Bobby Lashley, and Lashley says, hey, I see you going out of the ring. How about you go out of the ring and call me out? Because I guarantee you that if you call me out, I'm not going out there to talk. I'm going out there to tear you apart. Oh, right on ahead. Letting Roman Reigns go through. We get to Roman Reigns in the ring, and he says, well, I was going to talk about a lot of stuff, but I never had anyone come directly to my face and dare him to call him out. So, you know what, Bob? I'll go and call you out. Get your ass down here right now. Bobby Lashley comes down to the ring. Angle tries to sort of, be like, no, this isn't happening. But what ends up happening? A brawl ends up happening. Superstars come from the back, little by little at a time, as Lashley and Roman Reigns are brawling. Lashley clotheslined Roman Reigns on the outside, and then threw him back in the ring. He got held back by the whole roster. Roman Reigns then went off against the ropes, flew to the outside, walked up the ramp, looked like it was done, but nope, he had to go around members of the roster, give one more taste to Bobby Lashley, and then the brawl ended. Very good way to start off Raw. I do very much enjoy when Monday Night Raws or any show really starts off in a brawl. I do very much enjoy that. So I can't complain about this opening, because normally it would just be, talk. But Roman and Bobby did a very good job in this promo. Not promo, really. This opening of Raw, because, well, it wasn't even a promo. It was just them meeting the crap out of each other. So, you know what? That got me in a good mood for Monday Night Raw today. Backstage, Bliss and Mickie James watched it, and Mickie James was like, wow, that was pretty devastating, But Alexa's like, yeah, nothing compared to what I'm going to do to Nia Jax this Sunday, though. And we get into a tag team match of Nia Jax and Natalya versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Overall, Nia Jax wins with a military press, followed by the leg drop. 1, 2, 3. And right after the matchup, Alexa Bliss hits Nia with a candlestick a few times before Nia grabs it, swings at Alexa, and then breaks the candlestick, throws it at her, and the winners of the matchup being Nia Jax and Natalya. Nothing really special, but nothing really bad, per se. Just your generic, build up the women's title match, tag team matchup. And that's basically all it was. We get back from commercial break. Nia Jax says that Alexa's tried to do everything in her power to bring her down and break her, but Bliss can't break Nia. Nia can break Alexa, and she says, something along the lines of, or she did in recent weeks, and it was reminded on commentary, that this is more than just about the Women's Championship. It is about ending all this crap that's happened, that has been going on since before WrestleMania. Extreme Rules is going to be the end of this, and I'm taking back my Raw Women's Championship, says Nia Jax. Pretty all right backstage promo, I guess. We get a video package of Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. You know how Strowman's been just, being Braun Strowman. Kevin Owens goes to work and says, hey, I have a doctor's order saying I'm not going to compete, but I came anyway. I'm going to hang out in your office. Enjoy it. Next we get, oh, guys, this is a rematch. 3 weeks in the making. No Way Jose versus Mojo Rawley. Yeah, I finally get the rematch. I shouldn't really go on this too much, or like go back too much, because this wasn't by all means horrible. It just wasn't really that good. Mojo won, off of an Alabama slam. Kind of an out of nowhere finish, which, I mean, same old status quo. Mojo Rawley picks up the victory, and that is that. We then get into the counseling deal, and Dr. Shelby's out there. No. Why did you ruin that? No. Now, if you were going to do this, right, here's how I would have probably done it, okay? This counselor, whoever she was, could have done it the first week. Then the week after that, Dr. Shelby come in. Then the Raw after Extreme Rules, Bayley, Sasha Banks be like, oh yeah, everything's all fine. Hugs, hugs, hugs. They have a women's tag team matchup. They lose to, you know, Riot Squad or something. And then they're like, oh, hugs, hugs. And then they're like, yeah, no. And then start beating the holy hell out of each other like a legit fight. Or like Bayley throws the first punch or whatever. Just solidify a heel turn, maybe. Or keep in mind that, like, yeah, Bayley's the heel in this whole thing. But like both will beat the crap out of each other until Angle's like, okay, counseling isn't gonna work. I can't fire you guys, so match at SummerSlam. I think maybe that might lead to that. Maybe it was just kind of like, you know, this counselor, you know, is just here just for this week, and the next week, you know, bring back Dr. Shelby, maybe do a little bit of work, and then, you know, hugs, 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 and then no. But no, Bayley says that she's tired of thinking that Sasha would change, that Sasha keeps stabbing her in the back, which, timeout. They really are making Bayley seem like this illogical idiot. You want to know why? Because her reasoning behind Sasha stabbing her in the back is that Sasha eliminated her from the Rumble match, every woman for herself, and Sasha Banks attacking Bayley at the Elimination Chamber during the match, every woman for herself. Sasha would have done what any other person would do. And I don't really understand why Bayley's going to the whole, oh, you stabbed me in the back, you stabbed me in the back, you stabbed me in the back, as Bayley's playing the victim. Maybe this could be kind of a predecessor to the full-on Bayley heel turn, even though technically I think Bayley should be here right now because, well, you know, even though on house shows she's teaming up with people as face and all that. I don't know. I feel like full heel turn coming on within the next few weeks, leading to a match at SummerSlam. That's just what I think is going to end up happening. Seth Rollins walking backstage at Jinder Mahal comes on, and Mahal says, hey, instead of burning it down, you should be building things up. And Seth's like, man, this is deep. Help me, please. And then Jinder Mahal does his breathing, and Seth Rollins just, you know, tiptoes out of there, wanting no part of this whole Jinder Mahal Shanti thing that he's got going on. You remember when that guy was WWE champion? You remember that? People probably who are leaving it coming back from wrestling, you know, probably like, wait, he was WWE champion? Yes, he was WWE champion. The guy that says Shanti was the former WWE champion. So man, crazy. But we come back from commercial, and we get Seth Rollins coming out delivering a promo about the only moniker that matters to him right now is former Intercontinental Champion because he had all the other nicknames. He says that he has an opportunity at Extreme Rules, 30-minute Ironman matchup, and he says that the only issue that he has really with this being a fair fight is that overgrown Wookiee, as Seth Rollins put it, Drew McIntyre. Dolph comes out. Dolph's like, hey, you know, you're Seth freaking Rollins. You're good and all, but you know what? I will wrestle circles around you. Says that, hey, I might win 5-0. I'm going to do a clean sweep on you, Seth. Seth then says that, you know, you've been bleaching your hair too long. Making jokes here and there. Seth makes jokes of Drew McIntyre, you know, presumably saying that he sleeps with sheep. Yeah, that was a thing. And it's like, yeah, Dolph knows your secrets. You don't need to be pictures online. McIntyre then challenges him to a match, set the steps, saying he's a bad man. Dolph and Drew go to the ring, but Seth gets out of there thinking, I'm an architect still. I know when I shouldn't be in this fight. So we get our main event set for the night, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, which we'll get to that later on. We get Curtis Axel backstage acting like Matt Hardy for the 4th week in a row. And, yeah, I literally watching this, looking at that again, same thing over and over. Impersonation, X beats Matt Hardy, repeat. And that's what it's been the past few weeks. because Bo Dallas then goes on to beat Matt Hardy after they talk about, oh, BT's going to win the tag titles. Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt show up on stage to be like, yeah, enough. Enough. We will delete you. We will eat you at Extreme Rules. And then they appear from behind. Bo Dallas, Matt Hardy begins. Nothing too special. Again, rinse and repeat from the past 3-4 weeks, roughly. Matt Hardy almost gets the win, but Axel distracts him. Bray comes up from behind. Bo Dallas hits that, rope leverage, neck breaker, swinging neck breaker he does when his opponent's on the top rope and gets the win. Afterwards, Bray and Matt Hardy beat him up and stand tall. We get multiple recaps of Bobby Roman throughout the night, so I'm just going to get that out of the way right here. Bobby is interviewed. He said he does like Roman, but he respects that he'll actually come on and fight him. Says we'll see how far he goes at Extreme Rules. Believe that. And backstage we get Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan with Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze says, "Hey, fashion's my thing," gives them the shirts. Riot Squad's like, "Hey, we don't play like that. We rip," and they walked out. Breeze kind of on his lonesome right now due to Fandango actually being injured. That's another thing. Fandango has been injured and will be out for roughly 6 months. He himself confirmed this on Twitter. So get well soon, Fandango. Hope all goes well with the rehab and rehabilitation to work on whatever injury it was. I don't remember what he said the injury was or if I read anything about that. Counseling continues. We don't really hear anything with the counseling. It just shows like, oh, early today, while the commentators are talking, and we cut to Ronda Rousey, UFC Hall of Fame mention, and then Bliss is backstage saying that, hey, me beating you up with a kendo stick was just beautiful, and I'm just saving the rest for Sunday, and that after Extreme Rules, she will be known as the Extreme Raw Women's Champion. So nice little series of promos right there. The belt for the Raw Women's title match throughout the night was, it was all right. It was all right. And I really hope that the word extreme gets used pretty nicely in this Extreme Rules matchup coming up. This coming up Sunday. And we get into another rematch. Ember Moon versus Liv Morgan. Now, normally with these rematches, it's been a lot of copy and paste. This hasn't really been a whole lot of copy and paste. A little bit here and there, with the whole remember B-Team versus Matt Hardy thing? That was kind of because Bray Wyatt was in a car accident, so I could kind of get that a little bit. They want to save him a little bit for Extreme Rules, even though he competed on a house show. So, but I can kind of let that slide to an extent. And Ember Moon and Liv Morgan wasn't really bad last week, and they kind of need to keep the Riot Squad a little bit busy till Ruby Riott comes back, which I believe, if I remember correctly, that is a minor injury that she has. So it'll be like 2 to 6 weeks before she's back, and by now it's like at the 4-week mark until she gets back. So it won't be long. Ember Moon and Liv Morgan, I will say this, was actually a pretty solid match. Very underrated match, and I think that if you let these women go loose a little bit longer, show them what they're made of, then you get the people in the audience to realize that, oh, these two are great. And I think, a lot of people might not pay attention to this match, but to me, it's going to be one of those underrated Raw matches that was actually pretty solid. Ember Moon picking up the victory after a jackknife cover, winning just like she did last week, as the Riot Squad is not really doing a whole lot nowadays, but of course they work better whenever there's 3 of them instead of just 2. It's just kind of a placeholder, I think, for right now until Ruby Riott comes back. So I wouldn't say that this is the last time that's going to happen. But who knows? Maybe Ruby Riott gets back in time. It could be leading to a Ruby Riott Ember Moon matchup at SummerSlam. Who knows? So we get Finn Balor backstage. Is being interviewed. And Bobby Roode steps up and compares himself and Finn Balor kind of being a little, if I'm being honest, I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me on this. I feel like Bobby's teasing a little bit of a heel turn. Just a little bit. The whole, oh, how'd you screw that up, Renee? I was just like, is he turning? Please? Can he turn heel? They talk about how Bobby Roode and Finn Balor will be victorious, and when Renee Young's like, oh, you'll be glorious, and Bobby Roode's like, no, but like, well, I mean, you mentioned it, we will be glorious. Balor says that, he says that Constable Corbin talks about how little he is, or twice the size that he is, but Balor says that he's twice the person Corbin is, and says that, hey, we can do talking all we want, but we do our talking in the ring. Get back from commercial, and Owens is spraying air freshener in the office. Dolph and Drew come in, and that's when we get the stipulation that if Drew McIntyre loses to Seth Rollins, he'll be banned from ringside in the 30-minute Ironman matchup at Extreme Rules. We get Elias after that. Let me come back to the ring. We get Elias. We haven't seen Elias in a little bit. Not really a whole lot since, I think, the Raw after Money in the Bank. Maybe. He might have made another appearance after that. But his last big thing was Money in the Bank in the Intercontinental Championship matchup against Seth Rollins. It looks like that he's kind of it's kind of weird with Elias because he's plays like a little bit of a face role for a little bit, and then does his usual who wants to walk with Elias thing. Then Baron Corbin and them come out. We actually get a "You Suck" chant before that for Elias, which I'm like, Elias might be doing something here. Also, we got news of an Elias album that may or may not actually be a thing. So we'll have to see how that goes, and if it does become a thing, be sure to purchase it wherever you can. Baron Corbin comes out and they do their own little rendition of Itsy Bitsy Spider. I didn't really pay attention to them because I did not feel like any of that, but says basically with that song that he'll crush the Itsy Bitsy Balor. And then we get on to our tag team matchup, Finn Balor and Baron, Bobby Roode versus Elias and Constable Corbin. Solid tag team matchup. Nothing a whole lot bad, nothing a whole lot usual tag team matchup. Like I said, nothing really special, but it wasn't that bad. Baron Corbin beats Bobby Roode with the end of days, and Elias and Constable Baron Corbin pick up the victory. We go to a backstage segment. Kevin Owens is there eating something, and then Braun Strowman comes in the room, and that's where we get the announcement, and we've heard the rumors go on for a while that it'll be Braun Strowman, my bad, versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage matchup. So there's no room for Kevin Owens, and it's going to be Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens in a steel cage matchup at Extreme Rules. Mr. Monster in the Bank then afterwards sprays the air freshener, and Owens starts gagging on it. We then get the little announcement that Ronda Rousey, and this is confirmed a while ago, that she was going to end up being the second pre-order bonus for WWE 2K19. It was confirmed somewhere, I think around the Xbox area, that Ronda Rousey was going to be the pre-order bonus. I think a lot of us figured that would be the case. And really, this is where after this the news starts kicking up. So within the next week or two, I think, is when the news is going to start kicking up. Roman Reigns is interviewed backstage after we get another recap of the Roman Bobby fight. He says that he wanted to awaken the beast in Bobby Lashley. He says Bobby can't beat him, and he says after this, Bobby could be the guy elsewhere. Intent, if you want to talk about either MMA or Impact. Run down the card for Extreme Rules, and then we get the main event of the evening: Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. If Seth Rollins wins, Drew McIntyre is banned from ringside. These two men go back and forth in a very nice main event. It ends when Rollins hits the enziguri, stomps Dolph Ziggler, begins Claymore kicked by McIntyre, and McIntyre actually wins and will be allowed at ringside, which I kind of raised an eyebrow. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But as kind of a, kind of a weird thing as to all of a sudden, like, McIntyre won this match when, usually when that happens in a big match situation, you think, okay, well, Rollins is going to win and Dolph's going to be alone, and Dolph will probably end up winning at the very end due to some shenanigans. But McIntyre actually does pick up the victory here, and will be at ringside for the Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins Ironman matchup. Like I said, very good main event. These two men really pulled out a good show, and I think that I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to be true, if the WWE Championship does not main event Extreme Rules, which I think it should, but it probably won't. I think the Ironman matchup would be a great way to end off Extreme Rules and send the fans home happy in a very, very, very good matchup. Should I talk about that, Scott? I might do a little bit of a segue bonus to talk about the Brock Lesnar thing. Since I've talked about Raw, overall, not bad, not bad. Not the copy paste thing. Definitely more watchable than the past 2 or 3 weeks. I think this was a pretty decent go home show. Left some questions. A lot of the middle was done right, and it had a bit of a surprise to some. Maybe not to others, but a surprise to some that McIntyre actually won against Seth Rollins, and there's still a lot to be at ringside for the Ironman matchup. So I think that WWE did a really good job in this go-home show, in my view, and I think that maybe Extreme Rules on Raw could be good, but I could be wrong, of course. So overall, Raw was pretty good this week. Best Raw as of late, the past like 2-3 weeks, roughly, give or take. But real quick, I will go ahead and talk about this. Things that Brock Lesnar said in the UFC. Because, actually, you know what? No. I'm going to save that for another video on Wednesday. I'm going to save that for a video on Wednesday. Or a hangout. That way more people can join in on the discussion. I know it'd probably be a lot late at that time, but news is coming in about everything that's happening with Brock Lesnar. So I will definitely cover that on Wednesday, because then, you know, we got the SmackDown discussion tomorrow, and then Wednesday is open window, and then hopefully Thursday I can get something out when it comes to the tournament, whether it be a live stream or whatever at this point. I know the matches I want to record, and I can just do them all on live stream if I feel the need to. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Raw Rebound, talking about Monday Night Raw's Go Home Show 2 Extreme Rules. If you guys enjoyed this Monday Night Raw, then let us know down in the comments. If you didn't enjoy this Raw for whatever reason, let us know in the comments as well. All opinions are welcomed. And if you enjoyed the discussion, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for much more. And remember, everyone, remember, it's very important information right here. We are a group of wrestling fans who are just, all we're doing is just shooting from the hip. Good night, and goodbye. I screwed all that up. Rewind, even though this is live. Don't care. I did see that thing, Scott, that you're talking about. Welcome, Mr. General Manager of the WWE 2K18 SmackDown side of things when it comes to Scotty Scales WWE 2K18 Universe Mode. Welcome. But I'm good. I have a reason to do the freaking outro again. Guys, like I said, let us know what you thought about this Raw in the comments down below. Subscribe for much more content. And remember, guys, just remember, we are a group of wrestling fans who are passionate about what we love, but we don't sugarcoat shit. We're just shooting straight from the hip. But I must bid you all a farewell, goodbye, and good night. Bang!